How's it going, YouTube? Thanks for watching. Now, a little while ago, some of you may have seen, I posted the video of making this jewellery box. The video some of you may have seen was just a cinematic overview of the whole thing. Glossed over a lot of the details, so I said I'd make a couple of short little videos going into a bit of detail on some of the more interesting elements. So in this video, I'm going to cover these inlaid dovetails. They're actually rather simple. They look quite nice, but it's nothing complicated. It's just cutting a dovetail twice. So instead of your 4 sets of dovetails, there's actually 8, 2 in each corner, and that's just about it. And so yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. I like to start these projects by just ripping off as much material as I need, then move on to dimensioning the wood. So I flatten both sides in parallel, move over to my jointer, flatten one edge and use that as a reference on the table saw to rip it to width. Now moving over to the chop saw, I cut the 4 sides of the box to their final size and length. Now I actually start cutting the dovetails themselves. I start off with tails usually. I have them marked out. I don't bother with a guide, I just freehand them. As long as you match up the pins, it's not that important. Now clearing out the waste, I remove most of it with the scroll saw and then just clean up to my knife lines that I've cut with a chisel. This is the part where you get the actual inlay look of the dovetail, and it's achieved by joining it to a contrasting piece of wood on the flat, whereas usually almost all dovetails are done perpendicular to make a corner. Here I just cut them out of this one scrap of mahogany. I actually did all 4 corners, that's what I had on hand. Now I cut out the excess for the inlays on the chop saw, which was a bit of a mistake as mine was too rough, but I got away with it. And again, marking out here the pins, same with a knife and just a large weight to hold it down and give you the exact marking. And now more of the same, you just cut out to the waist side of your line, down the pins. And if you're very careful with your handsaw and stick close to your lines, you should need very little to no cleanup work to get your joints to fit perfectly the first time. The next step is to cut out the base of the box and the tray that goes into it. And I had this lovely bit of white oak with this lovely crazy grain figure in the corner which I wanted to use, but unfortunately my table saw decided to spontaneously combust at this point, which meant an ungodly amount of hand sawing and many problems which will arise later on in the build. Here I'm taking my palm router and routing in a groove to accept the base of the box, and the router leaves rounded corners to the inside, so just quickly square those off with a chisel. Cut the base to fit and it should slide in perfectly. Here you see me securing these little scraps that I've cut into a rough dovetail shape onto each individual dovetail, so that when I'm gluing them together I can have my clamps exactly where I need them, applying the pressure to close up the joints perfectly. And this really helps with the glue up. And now gluing the thing up actually went pretty uneventfully because I had those little spacers. As I said, I was just able to glue it up without too much fuss. Once the glue was dry and I was out of the clamps, I was able to knock off the little spaces with a hammer, and the box and subsequently this video were finished. For anyone who made it this far, thanks for watching to the end, and let me know down below what you think of me talking in these videos. Something a bit new. Also, check back in a week or 2 when I have the video up of making the tray that goes into this box. Thanks for watching. Cheers.